Singapore has one of the most rapidly aging populations in the world, and it's estimated that by 2030, 1 in 4 people will be aged over 65. As we know, technology is able to add years to life. At Red Crowns, we hope to be able to add life to years. My name is Joshua. I'm the founder of Red Crowns Senior Living. Red Crowns Senior Living is an assisted living facility for elderly in Singapore to age in a home-like environment. We are a social enterprise under RAISE, the Singapore Centre for Social Enterprise. Assisted living means that the elderly will receive assistance mainly in their activities of daily living, showering, toileting, medication management, bringing them to see a doctor. Assisted living is suitable for elderlies who are not necessarily sick, but frail enough to require care from their dedicated caregivers. In mid-2020, I was put in a situation where I have to look for accommodation and caregiving solution for my own father. He is 87, and in mid-2020, he basically had a series of fall and he was in and out of hospital. So I was trying to find a good elder care solution for him, and that was when I realized it's not an easy task in Singapore because a lot of the nursing homes have a long waiting list, and he was basically still healthy, and so that's why he's placed very low down in the priority of admission. So at that time, I was thinking, would there be other solutions in Singapore? And that is why I come up with this idea of a co-living for elderly. Red Crown is trying to offer an option where the elderly are aging in a very familiar home-like environment, whether it's HDB, condo or landed properties. The difference between Red Crown Senior Living and nursing home in Singapore is that it offers more flexibility, more freedom for the elderly, and not in the institutional environment. We place emphasis to have more homes located at HDB centres where it's close to public amenities, good transportation infrastructures. We also provide housing in condo where there are condo facilities, and usually they are close to their family members as well. A typical home, there are 4 elderly and 2 live-in caregivers. The minimum duration of stay for HDB is 6 months, and for private properties are 3 months, which is in line with the leasing regulation in Singapore. As each household of Red Crown homes is small, we are able to cater to the preference and the hobbies of the elderly when we devise activities for them. So we do try our best to match the residents according to their interests. We also bear in mind that some of the elderly may require more assistance. Maybe they're on a wheelchair. So we try not to put all of them in one home because that would be harder for our caregivers to manage. Our elderly residents sign a 1-year contract with us, renewable automatically every year. But we do encourage our residents to stay on a long-term basis, as you can be quite disruptive if the members of the household are constantly coming and going. We do want to have an environment which is stable and the residents really build a bond with each other.
你需要吃药吗？
每天早上跟晚上。
哦，2次啊。
2次。
哦 ，OK。
看医生没问题，我是头晕跟脚没有力。
哦，你有割过你的脚吗？
有，冲凉。大便
都可以自己做，
按自己的。
哦，
我高兴，睡好，吃好，自由活动好，这样就可以了，就 happy。
I help Red Crowns assess their residents in their co-living spaces with their routines to find out if there's anything that can improve for their quality of life to be better in the co-living space. Seniors come from different walks of life and different backgrounds, and they also have different care needs on a spectrum. On this spectrum, there will be elders that need heavy medical and nursing needs and therefore need a nursing home. Whereas Red Crowns is a new way of senior living for elderly that wish to live in the community and don't mind communal living with other elders and caregivers. The elders are relatively independent but just need that little bit of assistance for household chores, medication. They also receive exercises, community activities, and 24-hour supervision in the comfort of a home-like environment.
伸出来，收起来，伸。
As a professional architect, I do place a lot of emphasis on the safety and the environment for the elderly. Our homes are equipped with surveillance cameras, also accessible to family members of our residents. Each resident has a dedicated call bell to call for assistance from the caregivers. We will also put grab bars at doorways. The toilets are with non-slip mats with toilet seat support to ensure the safety is there. I would think that the most important part of the caregiving component is the quality of our caregivers. Not only should they be certified and be experienced, but we place a lot of emphasis in whether they have the heart to do this. Planning for their diets are not always easy because we have to bear in mind each elderly may have their dietary restrictions. They also have their dietary preference, and sometimes they are being recommended to take certain things which they may not like to. Our caregivers actually spend time to understand our elderly and try to cater a balanced meal for them.
I'm going to fry bihun and cook some soup, and also got meat, vegetable. Later we will serve the fruit also. When I cook everything, they all finish it. Never left anything. I'm so happy to see that. My name is Mary. I work as a caregiver. I'm enrolled in Myanmar, and now I'm still studying diploma in caregiving in Singapore. I choose to work as a caregiver because I love to look after the elderly. I treat them as my grandparents. When I look after the elderly, I feel like remind me back of my memories, and it's like bring back my happiness. I feel like family with the elderly.
What is encouraging is a lot of our caregivers and the residents are forming a family unit. They are very close to each other. They go out together. So that is something that is very nice.
那个好吃吗？好吃，够吗？够了。慢慢吃。一人一个。
The name red crowns actually derive from the red crown crane. It is a bird that originates from North Asia that symbolizes longevity, strength, and also a very sociable animal. This is my hope for how the elderly in Singapore can age. 嗰度有幾個餐廳可以食飯？
西餐食用啊，
有嗰度可以食飯。
呢度啊。